This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR. And today, the San Francisco Giants beat the Atlanta Braves 9-3, thanks in large part to Rafael Devers in his monster day at the Dish, by far his best day in a San Francisco Giants uniform. And it wasn't only him. I mean, the offense as a whole really looks like it's turning a corner to me. We talked about this on last night's show. But again, the Giants offense really giving you something to believe in, a little bit of hope right in the perfect time too, because the Giants starting pitching has not looked great. But hey, today, good enough for a win for Justin Verlander, his first win in a San Francisco Giants uniform. We will break it all down. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. And make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And today, Rafi Devers, this is why the Giants went and traded for him. Did you see that first home run that this dude hit? I can't even explain how that ball got out of the stadium, completely defying the laws of physics. And it's also today's turning point. So let's get into it. The turning point from today's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And it came in the fifth inning. We'll get to Justin Verlander's up and down day, but mostly up. I guess he did shut out the Braves. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But I mean, Devers is the main story after this one. That solo home run in the top of the fifth inning that gave the Giants a 1-0 lead. That's easily the turning point for today's game. Because it was just remarkable. I mean, I have never seen a guy do that since like Pablo Sandoval or Vlad Guerrero Sr. I mean, he went down and got a pitch that damn near bounced on the plate, and he one-handed launched that thing out of the stadium. I mean, I don't know, like it was like a half swing, like a three-quarter swing, and he still had enough to get it 350 plus outside of the Braves Stadium, out of Truist Park. And I know that it's not going to be, the sexiest home run he's ever hit. It's definitely not a monster shot by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a home run in 23 out of 30 parks, and it would have been a home run at Oracle Park as well. So shout out Devers for muscling up and getting that one out of there. Go back and watch that replay. He looks off balance. He's going down and reaching for the ball, almost no lower body engaged in that swing at all. And it shows you just the kind of pure raw hitting talent that Rafael Devers has. This is why the Giants went out and traded for him, and it's starting to pay dividends. He's been hitting the ball pretty well as of late, even though it hasn't translated to a lot of hits or a lot of extra base hits. He's been squaring things up. I mean, he grounded into a double play last night where he hit a ball like 106 miles an hour. He's been hitting the sweet spot. It's just been a matter of him hitting the ball where they ain't. That's what he needs to start doing. And sometimes in baseball, it's just a little bit of bad luck. And when you're struggling and then you start to slowly pull out of it by making better contact, it usually takes a little bit of time for that ball to start finding some gaps. Just kind of Murphy's Law-esque, whatever can go wrong will. Well, it looks like Devers has finally shed some of that Murphy's Law that's been attached to him and following him around since the Giants went out and traded for him. And man, he just had a great day today. But that first home run that he hit was so impressive to me. And then the Giants weren't done scoring. Matt Chapman hits a 2-run blast after Willy Adames is hit by a pitch, gives the Giants a 3-0 lead in the top of the fifth inning, giving Verlander a little bit of breathing room. Verlander did come out for the bottom of the fifth and got through it without giving up any runs as well. And so he's in line for the win. And then in the top of the sixth inning, Rafael Devers delivers again. He blasts another home run, this time with two runners on base, 410 feet 101.7 mile an hour exit velo. This time he got both cheeks in the lower body into that swing, unlike that first home run. And he also had a single that he hit 100 plus miles an hour too. So Devers really with a lot of hard contact today, a lot of loud contact today. This is the Rafael Devers that you have been waiting to see. I really do think that this is a flag plant moment for him, for the Giants. This is him and the rest of the Giants offense saying, we're turning a corner. We are ready to hit. We have way too many dudes in this lineup who can hit the hell out of the ball to be batting like we have been all season long. Willy Adames, I've been telling you guys that this guy has been really stepping it up the last 30 games about for Willy Adames. If Rafi Devers and Matt Chapman can join in on the fun, that would be a great scenario for the Giants. They also added 3 more runs in the top of the 7th inning on a nice little rally that featured a bunch of walks, a bunch of base hits, a double mixed in there. But it started off with Matt Chapman getting hit by a pitch on his left elbow. And that, if there's one thing that was just kind of a bummer about today's game, it was Chapman having to wear that ball because the Giants have just been hit so many times. I mean, they kind of went through a little bit of a break without having multiple guys hit in each game that they played. But again, 2 Giants hit by pitches today. And the Chapman one is really a little bit concerning to me because this is a guy who missed a lot of time because of that injury to his hand. And he looked very uncomfortable after getting hit on that left elbow. It is not his throwing arm, so that is a little bit of a positive in the situation. I don't think he's going to miss a ton of time if he has to maybe get a day off or something. Maybe that's all that it'll be. But the Giants also have an off day tomorrow, so hopefully that's enough time for Matt Chapman to kind of rest up. Looked like it hit him like right near that funny bone area. So getting hit on the funny bone is never very funny if you've actually experienced that before in your life. It looked to me like he had a stinger. I got a ton of those playing sports as a kid growing up, and I can kind of see him when he's stretching those arms out and trying to wiggle it around. It looked to me like he was trying to regain some feeling after getting some numbness in that hand after getting hit on that elbow. So ultimately, he did stay in the game to run. He did get eventually pulled for Brett Wisely. I'm not super concerned about Chapman. I think he will be okay, but that was just the one bummer part of today's game is Chapman was not able to stay in and finish this one. But other than that, this went very, very well for the Giants. Back-to-back games with 9 runs scored. Giants haven't done this all season long. This is the first time that the Giants have scored 18 runs total in a 2-game stretch. I mean, they've scored 17 runs after the Cubs game where they scored 14. Remember that crazy wild extra innings game? And then I believe the next game after that they scored 3 runs. So that was a total of 17 between those 2 games. But the Giants have not scored 18 runs in 2 games combined this year in 2 back-to-back games. So the offense really, really stepping it up in this series in Atlanta. And thank goodness they did, because the way that this pitching has been going lately, you needed something to reinvigorate you. The Giants needed a spark. They needed some life. And the offense finally delivers. I mean, you had 3 consecutive innings with 3 runs scored in this game. Yesterday's game, you had a couple big innings as well. So I love that crooked number inning that the Giants are being able to finally find, because for a long time it was just 1 run here, 1 run there, dinking and dunking all over the place. But hey, today, 3 home runs for the San Francisco Giants. Devers, his 18th and 19th home runs of the season. Chapman, his 14th home run of the season. And also, it wasn't just them. Like, a lot of guys in this lineup were hitting today. Not just Devers with his 3 hits, but Casey Schmidt had a hit. Dom Smith had a hit. Pat Bailey had a hit, by the way. Pat Bailey has actually been doing pretty well at the dish lately. His batting average finally up over to 208. So gets out of the 100s finally. And he's been actually hitting the ball pretty decently in his last couple weeks, I would say. His last 24 games dating back to June 18th, he's hitting 257 with 5 extra base hits, 11 RBI, and 8 runs scored. He was hitting just 185 with 11 extra base hits and 16 RBI in his first 56 games. So just as many extra base hits in about the last month as he had over the first 3 of the season. So Pat Bailey starting to deliver at the dish. Obviously, his defense has been there all season long. But if Pat Bailey can actually start to hit, which is a big thing for the Giants, because he's just an automatic out in the second half of the season. to this point in his career. So Pat Bailey turning it around, thankfully. I mean, that is a huge development for the Giants, but so is everybody else on this team. Willy Adames has been playing great baseball for the last month and a half to 2 months. Matt Chapman looking pretty good at the dish. He had a couple RBIs and a couple runs scored today, but Rafael Devers takes the cake, and he is today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And who else are we going to give it to? I mean, I guess we could have given it to Verlander for eking out his first win as a Giant, but there were some issues with his start as well. I mean, he did get through it. He shut him out. That's all great, but how we got there was a little bit concerning to me because it profiled the same way as his other starts did. He just got a little lucky. The Braves weren't really willing to try and hit anything today, but Rafael Devers was hitting everything that came his way, man. 3 for 5 today, 4 ribbies, 2 runs scored. He did strike out twice, and that last strikeout, I don't think Rafi Devers knew what the count was because he tried to lay down a bunt with 2 strikes and fouled it off and struck out because of it. And he sat there looking up at the scoreboard, all confused for a little while afterwards. So I think he was a little bit confused about what the count was in that situation. We'll give him a free pass at that at bat because, I mean, anytime you go 3 for 5 with 2 bombs, 4 ribbies, and a couple runs scored, that's a pretty good day at the yard. So Rafi Devers, that OPS up to 860, that average up to 264. And this is a big development for him a day like today because coming in to this one, Devers had been slumping with the Giants. I don't got to tell you guys, since trading for him, he was only slashing 227, 336, and 345 with 7 doubles, 2 home runs, 11 RBI, and 18 walks. He had 40 strikeouts also in his first 30 games with the Giants. So in this one game, equals his home, or he doubles, I guess, his home run total that he had from his prior 30 games with the Giants. And he's reached base, though, in 24 of those 30 games. So the Giants, as long as Devers is in the lineup and as long as he is actually healthy and producing, which he does look like he's moving a little bit better now. I think being out in the field kind of helped limber him up in his first start at first base yesterday. He did go back to the DH role today, but I really do like what I'm seeing from Devers. I think that this is a turning point for him and the rest of the Giants offense. We got more to get into on the other side. We got to talk about Justin Verlander's day, and we got to get into what you'll be talking about after this one. All that and more coming up next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in just one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. And I noticed all sorts of surprising insights when I started using Monarch. I realized just how much money I was spending on takeout and just eating out in general almost every week. So I've now adjusted. I've started meal prepping and saving some more thanks to Monarch and their great insights. Plus, it makes collaborating with anybody very, very easy. If you have shared accounts with someone, you can monitor all of your spending in one place. That makes it so easy to navigate. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants get it done against the Braves and salvage the series. I'm not going to say salvage the road trip because this still was not the best road trip. 2-4, that's not really what you want. But hey, this plane ride is going to feel a lot better for the Giants having won this series than if they had lost. And I guarantee you that the guys are going to be feeling loose after putting up 9 runs in back-to-back games and after getting Justin Verlander his first win in a Giants uniform. I mean, thank God we finally can turn the page on this chapter because I feel like it's going to loosen things up for Verlander a little bit too now that he's not pressing as hard to get that first win. But I did see some things that concerned me in his start today. So let's get into it. That first inning, threw 30 plus pitches, walked a bunch of guys. He was lucky Lucky, not just in the first inning, but in the second inning as well, to not give up any runs. I mean, in that first inning, he walked 3 different guys. He walked the bases loaded, and somehow the Braves were not able to score. In the second inning, he hits a guy, and that ends up not coming back to hurt him. Runner in scoring position. He moved into second on a productive out by Nick Allen. So again, Justin Verlander escaping in some senses. And then in the third inning, he got a double play after a leadoff walk to Matt Olson. So, I mean, he had some moments where he didn't really look sharp, where he didn't really look that great. He threw a wild pitch in the fifth. He also had another walk in the fifth, gave up a leadoff single, somehow got out of it, did not allow a run. So he had runners on base all day long. He had 5 walks in today's game, and he hit a guy. He only had 3 strikeouts. He only gave up 1 hit, though. And that is kind of what we've been seeing from Verlander all season long, right? Like, he's been walking a lot of guys. Like, the velo is still there. It's the command that hasn't been very good for Justin Verlander. And the difference in this one was those ground balls, everything that was hit in play was hit at somebody today. And that was a little bit of a good break for the Giants. And for Verlander, he's had enough bad luck this season that's eventually, regression to the mean. He had to eventually get something to break his way, because he's had so many bad breaks go against him. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not backpedaling on what I've been saying. I still am not confident in Justin Verlander. I do not believe that this is the way to go to get to the playoffs. I don't think that he's going to be the guy you can lean on in the second half of the season to propel you into the postseason. I don't think Verlander is going to magically all of a sudden just go on a tear and just win all his games in the second half of the season. I do not foresee that happening. I would love for that to happen, but ultimately Verlander has shown us time and time again that his control is not really there. He's not getting a lot of ground balls. He's not getting a lot of soft contact. He's given up almost 40% of the hits he's given up are hit really hard. I mean, that's not the worst in Major League Baseball, but it's definitely in the bottom half of Major League pitchers. His curveball has been his best weapon so far this year. And I mean, he was using that pretty effectively today. I thought it looked pretty good. It was snapping. It wasn't really hanging too much. But ultimately, I think this is more of a reflection of the Braves not hitting well than Verlander out pitching them. I think this was the Braves showing why they're a 44-57 team. This is a team that's 13 games under 500. They do not achieve at the plate as to the extent that they should. And also worth mentioning, Acuna not in today's lineup. So some good from Verlander, no doubt. He only gave up 1 hit. Goes 5 innings, and he gets the shutout win, or part of the he had a shutout when he left. Let's phrase it that way. But he did not have a dominant outing that you might think he did if you just look at the 5 innings pitched, no runs, and only 1 hit. He only had 3 strikeouts. He walked 5 guys. That's not a good strikeout to walk ratio by any stretch of the imagination. And he threw 30 plus pitches in that first inning. Sean Jelly had to get up in the bullpen because they were unsure if he was going to be able to get through it. Plus, it was all muggy out there in Atlanta. It started raining a little bit while they were out there. So, I mean, credit Justin Verlander for battling through it and getting the first win in a Giants uniform. And hopefully this gets the monkey off his back and he's able to keep pushing, keep finding some wins. And that would be a massive lift for the Giants. It's a little Blake Snell-esque, but I really doubt that he's going to be able to do what Snell did in the second half of last season. That was absolutely remarkable. And I still wish the Giants would have traded Blake Snell last year, just as I said on this show a dozen times before they just let him walk in the offseason. Maybe if you did that, you'd actually have a prospect or two you could dip down and grab instead of just letting Justin Verlander go out there at 40 plus years old and continue to look, well, really old. But ultimately, as I said, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad from Verlander today, and a lot of the Braves making Verlander look a little better than he's been this season. Only 1 hit for the Braves while Justin Verlander was on the bump, and somehow he navigated around all those base runners to not allow any of them to score. Good win for the Giants. Now they go home and they play the Mets in a 3-game series at Oracle Park. And this is a big one, man. Like this series feels like a momentum shifting type series. Like the Mets are probably going to be a playoff team, I would assume. And they have, just littered with star talent all over that roster. You get to see Juan Soto in Oracle Park. So that's obviously going to be a big draw. I'm going to get out there for Friday's game and for Sunday's game. Hope you guys can get out and see the Giants at Oracle Park taking on the Mets, because I really do feel like this series is a big one for the Giants going forward. Your schedule after that starts to ease up a little bit, but you're going to have to find ways to win against good teams. And the way that the Giants showed against the Blue Jays, I need to see them play a tough team very well, like a playoff bound team. I need to see the Giants play one of those types of teams effectively and deliver. Show us that they can compete with anybody in the league. We need to see that from the Giants right now, I think. It's all the time that we got for you guys today here on the Locked On Giants postcast. Giants win 9-3 over the Braves. Devers delivers big time, and Justin Verlander picks up his first win as a Giant. Today's weird 9 a.m. start time always throws me off when games start that early. But hey, the Giants get it done. We all get to go home happy, and the Giants will have a nice plane ride home after this one. It's all the time that we got for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.